Hey YouTube, this is going to be a quick video on how I built a fireplace wall unit using a faux stone material. In this video, I will show you my process in constructing the wall unit. I'd like to preface this video by saying that I don't have a lot of experience with construction or using power tools. In fact, I used a few things for the first time completing this project. With that being said, it wasn't a difficult project to complete, however, it did require a lot of planning. So if you're going to undergo a similar project of your own, I highly recommend planning. So the first thing you want to do is basically plan out your fireplace wall. How high do you want the fireplace to be? How high do you want the TV to be mounted? Basically, you need to know these things before you can start framing. In this picture, this is my framing guide. The lines basically represent wood, and essentially I follow this plan when I did my cutting, and I use this to determine my materials as well. Once I figured out what my fireplace was going to look like, I started compiling a list of materials and their costs, as well as tools that would be required for the project. All in all, the project cost approximately $1,200, excluding the cost of tools. Here I used painter's tape to mock up the fireplace and TV to make sure that I was happy with their final locations before starting the project. I used a hand saw to notch out an opening in the baseboard. I used the garage to do all my cutting to eliminate getting sawdust in the house. I was also able to fit all the lumber in my car. I was actually pretty happy about this because I didn't need to rent a truck or a U-Haul. Once I cut all my lumber, I mock assembled the fireplace to make sure that all my cuts were correct. Before screwing the wood together, use a speed square to make sure that everything is straight. I used construction adhesive, and I also screwed the frame to the floor as well as the ceiling to make sure that it was secure. Make sure that the structure is level before you secure it in place. Once the fireplace was inserted into the structure, we added the decorative rocks that came with our fireplace. I also added a 2x8 piece of lumber to the structure. The TV mount is going to be screwed into this piece of lumber. The next step is to drywall the frame. As well, this is a good opportunity to figure out your cable management system to conceal wires and cables. Next, I mounted the TV. I have a 50-inch TV, but the opening can accommodate a 65-inch TV, which I plan on getting in the future. The next step was to create a recessed mantel using a piece of 1x8 pine that was cut to length. At this time, I also started the installation of the faux stone. I began with the left and right sides, followed by the top. I did this because these areas required the simplest cuts. For For the stone, I used a product called Oris by a company called Quick Deco. The stone is very lightweight and it's almost like a chalk-like consistency. It's very easy to cut using a handsaw. However, I used a miter saw for most of my cuts to save time. On the back of the stone, there are some 3M adhesive pieces of tape that you can use to secure it to the wall. However, I also added some construction adhesive to make sure that the stones wouldn't move or fall off. The mantle is secured to the structure using construction adhesive. However, there is also some leftover scrap pieces of wood that were screwed onto the wall studs that act as a brace for the mantle. I cut out some drywall and created some end caps for the recessed mantle, and also used a backer board material to basically conceal the exposed lumber in the TV opening. So here's a look at the final product. Overall, I'm extremely happy with the way it turned out. The project took me approximately 2 weekends to do. However, if you're really ambitious, I think you could probably do it in 2 days. Like I said earlier, I don't have a lot of experience doing DIY projects, so this was a challenging experience and very rewarding. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below and I'll reply. Thank you for watching.